Hey there, job seekers and career climbers, future executives, present executives, past executives. This is Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting, and today I'm going to help you make the most of this first quarter, which is the peak of hiring season most every year. So let's make it count. Since more interviews and job offers happen January through March for pretty much any year, the best use of our time today in this video is to focus on making the most of those interviews. And if you're watching this and you're not getting any interviews at all, then we definitely need to talk, like seriously, one-on-one. And I will put our contact information in the description below, especially if you're watching this on YouTube. And I'm usually booked up 3 or 4 weeks in advance. However, I do have team members that have availability within, the next few days. So, we can definitely talk with you. Time is of the essence right now because first quarter is the biggest quarter for hiring. Now, let's talk about preparing for the interview. Step 1 of getting a perfect interview or completing a perfect interview is all about research. No, I'm not talking about a quick glance at the company's About Us page. I'm talking dive deep. Most people I talk with that aren't clients only do 2 things to research the company and the person. They read the interviewer's LinkedIn profile and they glance at the company website, mainly reading their About Us page. And you got to do better than that. Because think of it this way. I want you to become a detective in the world of your potential employer. I want you to discover their latest projects, like what's going on this year, what are their initiatives, what are their goals, what are the industry trends, especially if you're changing industries. Make sure that you sound familiar with their industry. Even their favorite office snacks, which you will find on social media. You can definitely look on Twitter to find out a lot of information about a company. So I do recommend looking at the company's social media, even Facebook, because whoever is posting out there is showing you how they want to show up in the industry to their customers. So it's worth taking a look at. Overall, when it comes to interviewing, I've got a little axiom: the more you know, the more you glow in an interview. And I know that sounds silly. It's totally corny. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I'm all about corn, and I'm not going to leave you hanging without some specific resources. So I give our clients a resource list of 17 websites, 17 different platforms to research the company, and another 8 platforms to research the person that they will be interviewing with. And I want to share with you a few of my favorites. One of my favorite obsessions right now, at least for the last year, has been artificial intelligence. And there is a slew of great AI tools for research. If you're not adopting AI for doing what you do for a living, you need to get on that, because if you're not an early adopter, and I think, it's been over a year now, so I wouldn't even call you an early adopter if you adopted it today, but make sure that you know how to use AI and that you're pretty familiar with it, at least as an end user. When it comes to research and AI, there is a Google Chrome extension called Merlin. M like Mary, E-R-L-I-N. You can download that Google Chrome extension and you use it to summarize a Google search for anything about the target company or about the person. You can even ask it questions about the company and it will search online for those answers in a very complete way, much more complete than a simple Google search. I really like Merlin. Merlin will also, by the way, summarize long videos. I oftentimes go way too long. But no, I'm talking about keynote speeches or conference speeches that are very long. You can have Merlin take any of those videos and summarize it for you. Also check the company's Twitter feed to get the latest news, get, again, how they want to show up with their customers and their industry, what sets them apart. You could find their personality a lot of times on their Twitter feed, also on their Facebook feed, if they've got a Facebook page, which they usually do. Spend some quality time looking at the company profile on a platform called Crunchbase.com, especially if the company is private and it's backed by private equity. I do like Crunchbase. There's a Crunchbase Pro account that I have that I find very helpful. I give it to our clients to use as well. And Crunchbase gives you a lot of information about private companies you can't find other places. And it'll also tell you who's funding them and how much they've been funded. So I do like Crunchbase. You should check them out. It also has a lot of good, it's a great aggregator of what's out there on the web as far as articles that are written about the company or press releases that they've put out. It's a good place to look. Okay, then I want you to research the person. And oftentimes I say spend more time researching the person that's going to interview you versus the company, because you want to build that rapport. And if you are likable and trustworthy with the person that will be your boss, especially, then that's going to carry a lot more weight than just looking at being familiar with their products and services. Be sure and look, as far as a person, be sure and look at YouTube to find any media interviews or conference speaking engagements. Do a Google search, a couple of different Google searches for the person. The person's name, first and last name, followed by the city and state of their residence, and you're going to be able to find that on LinkedIn under their name. And do another search with their name along with the current company name. And that way you get ideas of anything out there that would help you build that rapport. And you want to look at search results for the person back pages through page 5 or 6. A lot of times there's hidden gems. They occasionally pop up on pages 4, 5, 6. Now, the reason you want to do all of this research is twofold. First, you want to find something that you have in common with the interviewer to help you build rapport in that first 90 seconds. So important. And then secondly, you're also going to want to ask informed questions throughout the interview. You can do that from using that research. After you're done with the research, now it's time to build your introduction. This is essentially how you're going to answer the "tell me a little bit about yourself" question. So you're going to want that introduction to be well under 5 minutes long. One of the big mistakes that people make is that their introduction is 20 minutes long and it bores the person that you're talking to. You don't want to do that. Ideally, you want it to be 3 minutes in length, and you want it to be highly relevant to the role that you're interviewing for, and also to the company, of course. And you'll want to include the largest scope of responsibility that you've had. So, for instance, biggest budget, biggest number of people that you've led, and if you've owned a P&L, that's huge. So include that as well. Not everybody has owned a P&L. Your introduction isn't the place to put specific achievements. Don't put your achievement stories in there. There will be time for that later. Instead, finish it up with your 3 core strengths. So you could give them the list of your 3 core strengths, and then ask them if they would like you to unpack any of those for them, and then make sure that you've got at least one achievement story for each core strength. That's a big one. If you've got the 3 core strengths with your 3 achievement stories, perfect. Now, takes me to storytelling. Okay, so imagine you're around a campfire and you're sharing tales of your career achievements, right? Those adventures. And think of it as a hero's journey, for instance. These are the biggest ones. You want to use like a hero's journey format. Your experiences and your achievements aren't just bullet points on a resume. They're actually, think of them as epic sagas of your professional journey. So craft some narratives that will really stick in their minds, like a catchy song they can't get out of their head. That's what you are looking for there. And each achievement story should be, again, 3 to 5 minutes in length, And for a half-hour interview, I want you to have 5 or 6 of them at the ready and put together in your head. And then for an hour interview, even a 45-minute interview, prepare 8 to 10 of the achievement stories. Again, 8 to 10 achievement stories that are highly relevant to the job you're applying for and to the company as well. You're only going to have time to get roughly half of those out, but you want to have that number at least prepared so that it's easy to come off the top of your head. Here's a pro tip. I want you to show genuine interest. Ask questions that make them think, wow, this person really gets us. Remember, an interview is a two-way street. You're not just there to impress them. They need to impress you too. That's actually going to make them like you more. And many times an expert is defined by the questions that they ask and not the answers that they give. So if you do all of these things, you're going to be way ahead of over 90% of your competition. No one else is preparing like this because they don't know how, and now you do. So I want you to dare to be different than them. Consider yourself not a candidate, but a standalone investment that will pay off. That's going to help you even in recessionary times. I want you to dare to be different so that you can dare to be authentically who you are, and let January and February and March be the months that you set the stage and that you nail that interview and that you grab the dream job. Kind of like it's a last piece of pizza at a pizza party, if you remember pizza parties. Don't wait for opportunity to knock. Go out there and build the door. In fact, I was taking my supplements this morning, and I saved something for you. It's on the back of my supplement pack, and it says, it's from William Butler Yeats. So I'm going to leave you with this. Do not wait to strike till the iron is hot, but make it hot by striking. In other words, don't just apply for things online. Go out, find the companies you want to work for, and reach out to the person that would be your boss. It's a much faster strategy, and it helps you get that dream job you're looking for. So start preparing today for the interviews. And remember, I'm going to be here to guide you every step of the way. If you want some assistance with your search, reach out to us. I'll put the information down below. And if you found this advice to be helpful, you might consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'm constantly trying to get more videos out there, but it's hard when you're super busy. We're a small business. So I'm not going to ask you to smash that like button, but I will ask you to gently press the like button. And it really helps a small channel like mine to get seen by more people who need help. All right, I'm Tammy Kabell with Career Resume Consulting. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear how your interviews go. All right, bye now.